Hello, podcast listeners. Well, here we are in the middle of summer. I don't know how the weather's been where you are, but Ohio has been hot and humid. A little too humid for my liking. Personally, I'm ready for some cooler days in football, especially since I'm a Bengals fan, and if any of you follow football, you know that they had kind of a big season last year, so I'm ready to see if maybe they can take it all the way this year instead of, the outcome that they, I think, unfairly and undeservedly ended with. But before then, we have so much going on here at the CMP, and we've got to do our best to enjoy the summer. Of course, here at Camp Perry, Ohio, where our headquarters is located, the summer months mean we're hard at work carrying out our annual national matches. It's our biggest event of the year, where thousands from around the country travel to participate in a full 5-week schedule of rifle, pistol, and air gun events. It's always so much fun, and this year has been no exception. We've seen many faces we haven't seen in a while, which is always refreshing, and I've even had some of you coming up asking about the podcast, which is incredible. Some of you did the same last year, and you all want to know what we'll be talking about next. And we've been so busy around here, but I really enjoy being able to provide these podcasts for all of you listening out there. So here we go. I won't make you wait anymore. Let's do this. I've got a good one for you today. One of the biggest facets of the CMP is our sales division. Though we're a nonprofit organization, it's our sales that have been instrumental in allowing us to cultivate an endowment large enough to keep our programs going and growing for the last 25 years. It's a complicated yet fascinating department we hold, so I thought it would be neat to take a more innate look into its inner workings. I recently had the opportunity to talk with North Retail Store Manager Melissa Hilly, who told me all about our sales department. Melissa's been around CMP for a while, decades, and she now heads our CMP North store, which is located in that big, long brick building you see at Camp Perry. And she's just one of the many hardworking members of our sales team who keep things running. It's an extremely popular and sometimes exhausting department to be a part of, and we sure are grateful for all of the long hours and time and patience that they put into it. In this podcast, Melissa covers many areas of our sales division, walking us through our permanent store locations as well as other places where our products are displayed, including our travel games, which are held around the country throughout the year, and we even have sales online. The sales department is a huge part of the CMP's existence. Without it, we wouldn't be able to be where we are today. From M1 Garand rifles to air guns and everything in between, our sales department provides firearm opportunities for a variety of marksmen and women with various interests. Whether you're purchasing a firearm for nostalgia, for an investment for you and future generations, to create a conversation piece on your mantle, or simply for fun on the range, we have something for you within our stores. Outside of providing rare collector's items for enthusiasts, what makes our sales department so unique is the opportunity to take what you've purchased from our stores and actually use them on the firing line in real competition at our events. It's a way of not only admiring the historical look of the firearm, but also serves as a means of immersing yourself in that history through the feel of it in your hands and through the pull of the trigger. It instantly brings the firearm to life and transports you to its heyday. And maybe, just for a second, it's a reminder of the sacrifices others had to make in order for you to enjoy your freedom on the firing line. For those who want an even greater connection to their firearm, the CMP offers advanced maintenance classes where participants build their own M1 Garands from scratch, able to create an even deeper bond by giving life to the gun, piece by piece, as they assemble it, guided by the excellent instruction of our CMP armors who lead the class. Melissa talks more about this, but it's definitely a program I suggest you look more into if you're someone who enjoys more hands-on projects. Melissa also explains what you need in order to purchase from the CMP and the varying degrees of firearms we sell, from field grade to service grade, as well as the ammo and other equipment we carry that you'll be needing on the range. Our CMP armorers who work at our South office in Anniston, Alabama are talented, experienced professionals who constantly assess the quality and safety of each firearm we sell. You can be comforted in knowing what we put on our shelves are authentic pieces that have been carefully inspected and tested, and we're confident that you'll find something you'll enjoy for years to come. So, if you're ready to learn more about all the items we have for sale, how we came to acquire them, and how you can get your hands on them for yourself, put your listening ears on. We're about to jump into it. Here's my conversation with Melissa Hilly, North Retail Store Manager. All right, I am here with Melissa Hilly, who is our North Retail Store Manager. How you doing, Melissa?
I'm doing well.
Yeah, good. Everything going well with the stores?
Yep, very busy.
I'd like to get a little bit of your background before we get into anything else. So, how did you become involved with the CMP?
Well, about 22 years ago, I originally started working as a receptionist just by pure luck of having a temp job. I didn't really know anything at all about shooting sports or firearms. So I just tried to absorb as much as I possibly could by working the front desk and just meeting everyone and asking questions constantly.
Hmm. So then you kind of learned other roles of the company and found other areas you wanted to get involved in. Is that kind of what happened?
Yes, I always tried to jump in and help with competitions. Pretty much anything they really needed help with, just so I could absorb as much information about the company as I could, um, and just kind of be accessible to any department. Honestly,
And you liked sales, and that's kind of how you got into where you are now?
yes. So we started the North Store back around 2002, I believe. And I started working in sales part time for that to try it out, and it just kind of took off from there.
Cool. So you've been with sales for a while.
Quite some time. Yes, I left for a little while and then tried a different career. And when I had the opportunity to come back in 2010 to work sales again, I jumped on it immediately.
Oh, back into
Yep, I
sales.
love it.
Very nice. So, what kind of things are you in charge of? What are your duties in your current role?
Well, at the North Store, I oversee all the inventory, just making sure the store's well stocked, orders are being done correctly, everything's filed correctly that we need to do. I also work with customer service, answering emails, voicemails, phone calls, things like that. I also do all the travel game sales around Eastern games and Western games and so on. So I make sure all the inventory is correct with that as well.
Nice. From your experience, I'm sure you've gathered how important the sales department is to our organization. Could you tell us about the various CMP stores, where they're located, and what types of items they contain?
We currently have the North Store, obviously in Camp Perry, Ohio. We carry a little bit of the rifles, ammunition, memorabilia, tools, things like that. We also have the Pro Shop that's located at the CMP Talladega range. We have a store in Anniston, Alabama, but that's currently closed while the staff works through mail orders at this time. But they basically contain the same thing: ammunition, rifles, tools, usually whatever bayonets, things that we can get our hands on.
You said that you go to travel events, which are now known as our competition games events, and do sales there. Do you have kind of the same items for sale there as
Same
well?
thing. Since our rifle inventory is pretty low, we haven't been taking rifles or ammunition to the travel games, but we'll see if that continues that way. But we usually carry memorabilia items, which is usually a big hit and still very busy.
Great. So outside of our physical stores in Ohio and Alabama, we also facilitate an e-store on our website. Could you explain what sort of items can be found on there and how that ordering process works?
Oh, sure. Um, on our e-store, we have targets, equipment, publications, uh, ammo. We even have some parts and tools that you may not find in our stores. So it's always good to look there. You can create an account on there or get a hold of somebody in customer service, and they can set up an account for you so you can order directly from there, and we ship it to you.
And we should note that that's with the exception of service and field grade rifles, which are no longer available via mail order as we had been doing in the past due to the current inventory.
Yes.
All right. Um, so for those who may not know, can you explain how the CMP comes to acquire the rifles that we sell and why, even as a nonprofit, we're able to sell them?
We are a federally chartered nonprofit organization. We get all of our stuff from the government. It's surplus military rifles and ammunition that the government no longer uses. So we've received thousands and thousands of rifles from all over the world in the past couple of decades or more. Um, in the past years, we've gone through O3s, O3A3s, 1917s. We've even seen 22s, and of course, our famous M1 Grand. We have seen them come in pristine condition. Lately, the last few batches we've gotten have been very deplorable. It's taken a lot of time for our armors to go through, and they grade them according to our grading system that we've come back and come up with in the years past. We have that posted on our sales page. So if anybody's interested to see the details on that, you can just go to our website, click on sales and rifle sales, and it'll take you right to that.
So, legally, what does a potential buyer need to have in order to be able to purchase a firearm from the CMP?
To purchase from the CMP, you must be 18. There are a few states now that have changed that to 21. Again, if you don't know, customer service or anyone in the sales department can't answer that question for you. You also need to show that you are a citizen of the US. Most customers use a birth certificate, passport, or the new Real ID can prove this for you. Um, you must also provide proof of participation in a marksmanship related activity, something that shows that you are familiar with safe handling of firearms and range procedures. It doesn't need to be just for rifles. So if you've taken a pistol class or concealed carry, even the air gun ranges take you through a safety course. You can use that as well. And then membership to a CMP affiliated club is also a big requirement, which most veterans organizations are affiliated with the CMP. Most people don't know that. If you're law enforcement or military, that could cover all of the requirements, honestly. So we do get a lot of law enforcement and military customers, but those are the three main requirements.
And you've kind of touched on this a little bit. You said the M1 Garand is kind of our big item that we have. What other noteworthy items can be found within CMP stores or online?
In our stores, we carry the Daisy air gun. We get a lot of these. It's a single pump action rifle, pellet rifle. They are usually a big hit. They start their young kids out with this, and they can also be shot at our air gun ranges in Anniston, Alabama, and up here at Camp Perry, Ohio. We do have a program for the 1911s. We are not accepting orders at this time until we know if we're going to get any more. But it is something that you can look on our website under sales and 1911s. We post all the latest information on the 1911s there.
Big ol' item there. Everyone's
Yes, definitely.
everyone's talking about the 1911s. So what are some frequent questions that you receive in the sales department?
Biggest question right now is when will we get more rifles? Specifically the service and field grades. From 2020 through 2021, we received a huge abundance of mail orders. People wouldn't believe the room as full as it was with orders.
Mhm.
And those are specifically service and field orders. We're going to check our inventory and see if there's what the availability is to see if we'll ever be able to offer these again. Hopefully, we'll know more at the end of this year to see where we're at with those orders.
All right. Um, is there anything coming in the near future that collectors or CMP enthusiasts should get excited about?
Mostly for competitions, I have learned that they're trying to come up with more locations for our travel marksmanship 101 classes. This is basically the smaller inspiring school that most people are familiar with that we have here at the national matches in Camp Perry. Um, I think they have about 6 locations. This year they've gone to teach rifle and pistol. So hopefully we have more dates and new locations so more people can get the opportunity to try this class out. I've also was told that they're trying to come up with possible fall dates for the advanced maintenance class. That's where they can sign up and go work one-on-one with the armors down at CMP South. It's a 2 or 3 day class, and we'll post more information on their webpage. It's under education and the advanced maintenance class. So as soon as we get information, we'll have that posted up there.
Yeah, that's a neat one. Is that where they're going to you get to pick your own parts and assemble the rifle and all
You
that?
build your yeah. You basically build your rifle from scratch. They'll walk you through the entire process and take you down to the range and shoot it from start to finish.
Such a neat program.
Yes.
All right, Melissa. Well, is there anything else you can think about in sales that you'd like to talk about?
Um, right now, everything's kind of going smoothly with the stores. We don't have many rifles, but we have been very busy with what we do have. We're getting a lot of new shooters, new customers, and it's been great.
Good. Well, Melissa, thank you. Sales is a huge part of the CMP, and we're very lucky to have you on staff to help us out with that. So thank you again, and I really appreciate you coming on here and explaining everything for us.
Thank you. This was fun.
Alrighty. You might think that I'm supposed to say this because of who I work for, but Melissa is truly someone who knows the ins and outs of the CMP, and she's always so pleasant to talk to. Like so many within our organization, she really takes pride in what she does. So, if you ever have any questions about anything related to the sales department or our stores, don't hesitate to reach out to Melissa. I know she'd be more than happy to help you out. Her contact info can be found through our website. Again, we currently have limited hours at some of our stores, but just to recap so you can plan for a future visit, our stores are located in the north at Camp Perry in Ohio, and in the south in Anniston, Alabama at our indoor airgun range facility, and right down the road in Talladega, Alabama at our Talladega Marksmanship Park. Be sure to visit our sales page on our website at www.thecmp.org/CMP_sales, if you can remember all that, to find more information on these stores, to see what we currently have for sale, to brush up on what you need to have in place to be able to purchase from us, to buy gift certificates for the CMP supporter in your life, or to view what we currently have on sale on our e-store and our auction site. Sometimes the auction site is fun to browse through just to see what unique things we're selling. You never know what you're going to find on there. Certainly things you can't find in any other firearm store, I can guarantee that. So I encourage you, if you're ever bored, just take a look on there and you'll be immediately entertained. It's a neat site. Also, don't forget about our service portion of our sales department, where we offer custom gunsmithing through our CMP custom shop. Our armorers within the shop offer repair, upgrades, and other services for your U.S. military rifles, especially the more vintage items. The custom shop really is another cool component of the CMP. Maybe that would be a good idea for a future podcast to explore. We'll have to see. Anyway, of course, you can find additional information on all of this and more through our website at www.thecmp.org. And if anyone has any other suggestions for our podcast you'd like to hear or any other comments you'd like to make, don't hesitate to reach out. Until next time, everyone, stay safe out there. And while you're in the purchasing mood, maybe buy yourself some Bengals gear, just in case. It's going to be a good one. I'm just saying.